Spring is just around the corner, so today we're making a healthy and a delicious recipe.
Oh, 2 in 1.
And joining us now is local chef Ralph Webb, and he's going to show us how to make some chicken and fish. How are we going to make it?
In Papillote, in a paper bag.
Oh, that's that easy.
Yeah.
You think it's so classy, but you're making it in a paper bag.
Yeah, we're making it in a paper bag. Another use for parchment paper, just like that lady before, you take the parchment paper, just like you learned in kindergarten, you make a heart shape, just like you did for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And then when you do that, just like you did in there, you just take the scissors and you make the heart.
That's how I made Valentine. I still make them that way.
All
actually.
right.
It is very sweet.
It's easy and fun.
Yeah. And then when you do that, then the reason I like to do it, you can do this in a square piece of paper. I just happen to like the way that this presents itself. Once you've done that, now you can make this kosher too, by the way. Instead of using butter, you'd use margarine. And if you had kosher chicken, you'd use kosher chicken. And then you put a little bit of butter on the bottom. I have my glove. I had it.
Here you go.
Where's
I have
the
some gloves
glove?
for you.
My glove, because I forgot to.
I'll give you a new one.
It's all right.
Let's all glove up for that matter.
Because I'm
okay.
going to be playing some chicken down, and I don't like to use my
Gloves
hands for that.
for
You never know.
And you put the chicken in the middle of the one side of the heart, or we're going to do salmon also. We have both. And then you can use any kind of julienne of any kind of small cuts of vegetables. I got some celery, I got some yellow pepper, I got some red pepper, I got some green pepper, I got some carrots.
And you're putting it right on the raw meat.
Right on the raw meat.
Okay.
All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to season it just a little bit. All right. And I've got this is a seasoning that I have at home. It's got a little bit of chipotle in it, a little bit of smoky pepper,
a little bit of spice.
a little bit of spice. I like to, make it taste like something.
Yeah.
and then a little bit of salt, and then you can add more pepper.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Now you want to be very careful now that you seasoned it when you put a little bit of white wine on it, so you don't dilute the seasoning too much all over the outside of the thing. You don't need a lot. You can put lemon juice in here. You can use white wine. You can use red wine. You can use anything. You need a little bit of moisture inside, because what you're going to do is create a package that you're going to steam the chicken and the fish in.
Now, what about a little bit of chicken stock? Could you use that instead?
You can use chicken stock, use any kind of liquid, but just a little bit.
As long as it's liquid.
I like a little acid in here with lemon juice or white wine in there, just to kind of make it.
Some lime maybe too?
Lime would be
Lime
fine.
sounds good.
So how do you cinch this bag up now?
Now, you start at the corner of the heart, and then you just start about 1/8 of an inch, and you make a fold. And you move up about 1/2 inch, and then you make another fold. And you go all the way around the bag, and it only takes you a couple seconds if you're by moving your thumb over and pressing it down.
Fold
Can I try?
all the way
Sure,
around.
all the way
Because if
around.
I can do it, then I guarantee you everyone at home can do it.
Now, the other trick that you might want to know about is when you're doing this, you need to make the product thin. All right? So, what do you do when you get to the tail? You have to fold it under.
I was going to ask you. Okay.
I would
Fix my mess, please.
fold it
Ralph.
over a couple more times. Just
So it's nice and tight.
It's one portion in a bag, too, right?
and you can make these up ahead of time and put them in the refrigerator, and then take them all out and put them in a very hot oven, about 425 degrees. Take about, depending on the product, if it's chicken, probably about 12 to 15 minutes at the most. Okay. If it's fish, more like 9-10 minutes. Okay, because
Gotcha.
it depends on the thickness. But
How
if
do you know when it's done? Can you break into the bag?
when you break into the bag, what you should do is break into the bag in front of the person that's eating it, because when you open up, the aroma is just spectacular. Because you eat with your eyes and then you eat with your nose.
Yeah.
The third thing you do is you taste. So if you can give the person the appearance of something, I'm going to show you in a minute. So what I would do before I put that in the oven, I would take a little butter and put it on top of the bag and let it melt, and that makes the appearance of the bag brown, and it kind of gives it some color. It doesn't give any more flavor to it. Again, you can use margarine, and again,
it's kind of the same thing when you're making a pie. You put a little bit of milk on top to get it to brown up a little.
Right. So
And it makes it prettier.
So what I normally do is what I had done for those chickens, that I would take them and pounded them out a little bit, so they were all the same
Consistency and
thickness, so they all cook the same, so you don't have to. And then you really, again, if you're talking to most nutritionists today, most people, 4 to 5 ounces of a protein is plenty.
Laura, you want to take us out?
Yes, I
So Ralph, we're going to
do.
take a little break. We'll be back to finish this up in a bit, so you don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Do I pound harder?
No, just enough to get to the fly.
She's doing a great job.
And I'll take the other.
We're back with local chef Ralph Webb to finish up our chicken and fish Papillote? Did I say that right?
In Papillote, in a paper bag.
And it's in a
All
bag
right,
right now,
that's
so let's get a
fancy
look
word.
at this. This is pretty impressive. And we've cut the middle of the bag. We've taken them out of the oven, cut the middle of the bag, and now, do we rip it open?
Yeah, you can rip it open.
Dig in, Seth.
And then you can, and it's,
Oh,
that
look
is
at that.
the...
That's the fish.
That's
the
the salmon. And now, can I open that one up too?
Sure.
The chicken.
Are you supposed to take it out of the
No,
bag?
you can eat it right out of the bag. It is food grade paper. It's called
Parchment paper?
parchment paper, and then you
at
can serve
that.
it with a little bit of. Here you go, Seth.
A little couscous. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Serve it, Seth.
I'm making my lunch right now.
I
Don't
know.
worry about me.
And you can, you
truth.
can serve it with rice, couscous, or that is orzo. I just put a little butter and Parmesan cheese just to give it a little flavor. And you've got a complete balanced meal. You have your vegetable,
I like it.
your protein, and your starch.
Lovely.
Maybe the pepper, if you don't mind.
Oh, the pepper, sure.
I'm just getting my lunch ready. Don't mind me over here.
And with the salmon, we were talking earlier, you didn't use this
Seasoning.
little spicy
Right, I used-
seasoning. You used dill.
I use dill. And fresh dill would be nice, but I just didn't, at this particular time, have fresh dill to put in any. And again, you can put any other vegetable you want in, but you need to cut them in a julienne, a very small, thin strips, so they cook in that short period
Well,
of
because
time.
that's the tough part. You're putting it in the oven for only 15 minutes. Normally, when you cook vegetables on the skillet, you're doing it for longer.
Right, but if you cut it in small little matchstick
You'll be
pieces and you're
perfect.
steaming them, they only take about 8 to 10 minutes to cook. And the peppers and the onions take even less time. The carrots and the celery take a little bit longer.
Ralph, you know what else I love about this recipe? It's that it's different. So if I'm having a lady over for a date, or maybe Laura, if the husband's coming home, or if I'm having my wife at home, you make this and it's completely different from what you'd expect. To
like a
open something out of paper,
surprise.
it's a surprise.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very cool.
And it also gives the person that has to clean the plates an easier plate to
I
clean.
love that.
Stuck to the,
I
and you don't
love
have to clean
that.
a pan either, which is very nice.
Right. Well, it just goes in the oven. I mean, you have to cook the starch in something, but in a little couscous or a little bit of rice or whatever starch you'd like, I thought orzo would be something different.
Hey, it looks good to me.
So it's an easy cook job and it's an easy clean job.
And it's fresh and it's not a lot of fat. And I put maybe a half a teaspoon of butter in the bottom. You can use margarine, you can use olive oil. Again, there's not enough in there to make it
Ralph?
over.
Looks good. Thank you so
So
much.
great to have
I
you.
cannot wait to dig in. So if you want this recipe, head over to our website, mymassappeal.com later today.